Well, here we are, chapter 3, going to talk about some EKG interpretation. We're just going to go over a couple of these and kind of walk through the each of the steps and figure out what we're looking at here. So let's take a quick little gander. First thing we want to figure out is our rate. So we can look at this and see that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, somewhere around 70. If you prefer the 300 method, you can go 3, 150, 175. So that's just a little bit past 75. We're talking about 70, so we're right around in the 70s. Our rhythm, it looks to be pretty regular. We can also count out our big boxes. 1, 2, 3, 4.5, something like that. 1, 2, 3, 4.5. You know, obviously we can get our paper and mark the little tick marks on these. Our P waves, there is a P wave for every one of these. They are upright, they are symmetrical, 1 to 1. Then we look at our PR interval. Here we're looking at about 1, 2, 3, 4, probably 0.16. Our QRS looks to be within normal limits, which is 1, 2 boxes. And I think what I would think would be fair to call that would be sinus rhythm. Normal sinus rhythm for that particular rhythm. And all we do is we keep following these same steps. Let's take a quick look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Heart rate of 110. If you're doing the other method, looks that's right on it. 3, 151, and it's just a little bit before. So around 110. Rhythm looks to be pretty regular. If you make your marks, you know, on your R waves, you can match this or march this whole thing all the way out. P waves. They are odd, a little bit weird looking P waves, but we do have some P waves. They are peaked, telling us a little bit about atrial abnormalities. But we got a P wave. There's 1 to 1. They're all upright. Looking at our PR interval, so 1, 2, maybe 3, maybe 0.12 to 0.16 within normal limits. QRS. All very narrow, 0.04. So I'll have a heart rate of 110 and a sinus rhythm. We're looking at sinus tach. Hopefully you agree. Now, can you guess what we're probably going to look at now? Yes, you were right. Sinus, maybe Brady. Let's take a look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A heart rate of 50. Rhythm. Make your marks here. Or we can, like I said before, we can count your boxes. 3, 4, 5, and some. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then part of a box as well. Looks pretty regular. Remember, 0.06, I believe, is the is the difference before it takes it into an irregular rhythm. P wave is upright, 1 to 1. PR interval is going to be 1, 2, 3 boxes, maybe 3.5 boxes. So we're good to go there. QRS complex looks to be within normal limits. So we have a sinus rhythm and a heart rate in the 50s. So sinus Brady. Everybody got that? Now let's move on. We're still in chapter 3. You see what it says. It says chapter 7. Remember, this is from old curriculum. So now let's move on and take a look at what else we have. Whoa, look at that thing. Let's take a quick little gander here. Let's look at our rate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. A rate of 80. The rhythm. 1, 2, 3, 4 boxes. 1, 2, 3, 4 boxes. Make your marks. You can certainly go through there and make your marks on your strips and find out that it is regular. Now, what about P waves? I don't see a P wave. I don't see a discernible or a distinguishable P wave. But what we do see is these F waves or these flutter waves, that sawtooth, right? Remember the sawtooth pattern. So our QRS looks to be pretty normal. We got no PR interval or P wave. So our QRS is within normal limits. So we're going to call this atrial flutter. And you see we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 to 1 conduction, atria to ventricles. So atrial flutter with a rate of 80. Now, the curriculum does not say this, but I always like to talk about 3 quick, hard, fast rules for atrial fib. One is irregularly irregular. So we see there's not a pattern of this irregularity, that it's just irregularly irregular. 2 is you have no discernible P waves. We have no P waves, what appear to be P waves. And then 3rd rule is you have fibrillatory waves. So these little bitty fibrillatory waves that you see throughout here. Those are my 3 rules for atrial fib. So let's take a quick look at this rhythm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Have a heart rate of 60. We have our rhythm looks to be irregularly irregular. So it's just all over the place. It's erratic. There's nothing that's normal with it. Our P waves, we do not appear to have any present P waves. So by not having P waves, we do not have PR interval. What we do have is fibrillatory waves, right? We have fibrillatory waves. And our QRS looks like it's probably 0.08. So by what we've talked about, we're looking at atrial fibrillation. I hope you agree. All right, now here's a really good reason why at times the 300 method that I like to use I think is a little bit better when it's hard to see all these things and count them. So we've got 300, this is 150, so we're probably somewhere between 150 and 300, which is, 220, 230, 210, something like that. Let's just go ahead and count them just for fun though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, a heart rate of 210 beats a minute. Rhythm looks to be pretty regular. It's all squashed together quite well. Our P waves are going to be hidden down in here in these T waves. Our QRS is within normal limits. So we have a heart rate greater than 151. And we're looking at SVT, at supraventricular tachycardia. And we'll look at one more. So we are looking at, hang on, let me see where I'm at in my book so I can look at this. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Looks like 8. We could probably call that 8. I'm trying to find, I'm sorry, hang on. Anyway, so did you always hear about the duck and the, anyways, okay, here we go. So we have a heart rate of 80. P waves, or rhythm, let's look at rhythm. So it looks to be regular, but we do have this one odd beat that's out of place. So we've got a regular rhythm, but we've got this odd beat. We have a P wave that's associated. PR interval is probably 0.12. QRS is 0.08, but we have this premature beat here. Looks like the P wave, you can see how this T wave has been changed, has been altered, has a P wave there. Well, it has a P wave, it is a premature beat. And, we would expect it to be here. It looks like probably everything's just clicking right along as it was going. So sinus rhythm with a PAC. We have a premature atrial complex. So sinus rhythm with a PAC. And that's just a few of these, I suggest that you guys just go through and start tearing all these rhythms apart. And if you need help with one of them, just let me know. Talk to you next time.